Hello and welcome to Might Be Awesome. My name is Sam Basher.
My name is DJ Wooldridge.
And today we're talking about Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Maleficent
McCarthy.
This is just for us.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy this review of the sequel to the 2014 hit Maleficent. Now, I said it wrong one time and it's just going to be stuck in my
in there
brain.
Forever.
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Everybody knows it's their favorite
Maleficent?
Disney villain that thinks they're important in the Kingdom Hearts games. She thinks she's hot. She thinks she's a hot stuff, and she does not factor into those games.
She doesn't know what Xehanort is up to.
Hey, it's Xehanort 1, 2, and 3, and there's time travel ones. You don't know. What we do know is we saw this movie thanks to our pals over at Disney. Appreciate the invite to the press screening. So let's go ahead and dive into business. We got a Rotten Tomatoes score. Don't you worry. If you're just looking for that and you don't care what we have to say, don't worry. We'll get to that. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Maleficent and her daughter Aurora begin to question the complex family ties that bind them as they are pulled in different directions by impending nuptials, unexpected allies, and dark new forces at play. Is that what happened in the movie?
Yeah, that's 100% what happened.
Is that the point of view of what happens in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it stars Angelina Jolie as Melissa, and we have Elle Fanning as Aurora. Harris Dickinson's taking up the role of Nightwing in this one. Prince Phillip, it was played by Brenton Thwaites.
Yeah, who's now Nightwing on Titans. You can watch our Titans reviews over at youtube.com/onlystupid-answers.
There you go, good plug. By the way, Harris Dickinson and Brenton Thwaites plays Dick Grayson. Thank you. Michelle Pfeiffer is Queen Ingrith. You have Sam Riley, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Ed Skrein, and Robert Lindsay.
I was going to say, Brent Thwaites, I was wondering, like, man, why are you turning down that sweet, sweet Disney money? Like, Titans can't be paying you that much. And then I saw the movie, I'm like, man, you made a good call. You made a good call.
You were busy. And this is directed by Joachim Rønning.
Yeah.
So
who directed one of the Pirates movies? One of the he did one of the Pirates movies nobody remembers.
Oh, he did the fifth one.
Yeah, cool.
On Stranger Tides.
Cool.
Wait, nope. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Dead Men Tell No Tale. Excuse me, that was the fourth.
I'm so sorry.
Jesus, did we do any research for this? Let's look at Rotten Tomatoes. We did look that up.
On Rotten Tomatoes right now, it's at 50% with the critics' consensus. While it's far from cursed, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, too rarely supports its impressive cast and visuals with enough magical storytelling to justify its existence.
Props to that job. Maybe there's a very selective process for picking the person that sums up everybody else's reviews into two sentences.
Because normally, pretty on point.
Yeah.
Pretty on point. There was one that I was like, but for the most part, it's pretty close.
Yeah. So I will say, I'll speak on DJ's behalf here. We have both not seen Melissa's first movie.
No, we have not.
But we also, I think we can both agree that when you saw Angelina Jolie was cast as Maleficent, you were like, yeah.
You're
good like, call. Oh, this is why you make the movie.
And also, I think Maleficent is one of the most iconic, not only Disney villains, but by extension, Disney characters. Mm-hmm. So it makes a lot of sense that you would want to be, I mean, I'm just going to be candid, give them the Wicked treatment. Like somebody saw Wicked and like, wait, we have the rights to Maleficent, so let's just do that.
They also have the rights to Wicked, so I don't know why they're...
Does Disney have the rights to Wicked?
There's no way they don't. And there's no way that after Fables came out and they created Once Upon a Time that they couldn't make their own Wicked.
Let's not look it up and let nobody tell us in the comments whether they're able to make Wicked or not.
They probably could. It's been in production hell forever. Yeah. But so this movie just made sense.
Tangent. Mm-hmm. Why not more musicals? Anyway, let's go back to what we're talking about right here. Because like Hamilton, why isn't there a Book of Mormon movie?
Huh? I mean, it's probably in production somewhere.
Probably, but we're never going to see it anyway. That's
In the Heights is coming out, and that's exciting. But for this film, not a song in sight as far as I could tell. There was a music number, but it was more morbid than you will expect. Yeah. And you'll get to that when you see this movie or not.
Confusing.
Oh yeah. This movie is rather confusing, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Overall review. Yeah. I sat down to watch this movie, and if I was 13. And I wanted to going on 30, and I want to take my date out to a cool movie, this would have been my jam. Mm-hmm. This would have been perfect. If I was even younger than that, where I'm just like, and life could be a musical if you want it to be. Definitely thoughts that were in my brain when I was a little prepubescent boy, and I saw this movie, I'd be like, these sexy angel dudes are like freaking, they get it, dude. Yeah. They finally get it. Disney knows. Tumblr's going to lose their freaking minds over this movie, man. It's all these like sexy shirtless angels with horns. So they're like, am I an angel or am I your demon? And you're like, I was cringing in my seat by how confused teens are going to get by this movie.
Yeah, and then there's all those angel demon people. They're fays. They're called fays in the movie. They're a bunch of Angelina Jolies. Not many of them get those crazy, crazy cheekbones she has.
Some have angular faces.
Yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor dodged all them bullets.
Yeah.
But you get to see, it's actually really, you get to see a lot of the different types in this culture, which is cool. But then their culture kind of boils down to basic tribalistic. Like, it was to the point where it's like, is this okay? Is this because they're all like chanting and grunting and pounding on their chests, and you're like,
yeah,
this feels reductive. They're not even real people groups. It feels weird. It's
a classic
weird.
X-Men treatment of like, look at all these pretty people, but they're the
outsiders. also, I gotta call bullshit on any time it's like, well, we got to run from the humans. All we have is magical nature controlling powers, the ability to fly, superhuman strength. But
they just made guns.
they crossbows with little pellets on them.
Yeah, they didn't make guns. Excuse me, they did not. They have not made guns.
So we've had to go hide and like. You're able to make like vine bridges, and
there's like 7 Groots walking around that have full control over all plant life.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So getting ahead of ourselves, talking about the movie as a whole. When it comes to performances, I think everyone did exactly what they could do in this movie. From Angelina Jolie to Michelle Pfeiffer to Elle Fanning and not Brenton Thwaites.
Brenton Thwaites and poor Chiwetel Ejiofor, man. Poor. He's so talented. He's such a talented and gifted performer.
Ed Skrein, this is his second role this year that we've seen him in a very physical, like body modification role. He was in Alita, and now we've seen him in this. And so he's really cranking those out.
Yes.
And he seems to maybe be attracted to those, or people seem to want to cast him in that role, and he does a pretty good job with what he has to do.
Well, but the important part is they don't cover up that very, very attractive face of
that
his.
mug.
Yeah. That's front and center.
Oh yeah, and even like in Alita, like he was somehow sexualized. And this one, sure is.
I will say more tangents. He's in If Beale Street Could Talk as a cop very briefly, and he looks like a very average boy in that. They did it must have been
hard.
Yeah, challenging because Anyway,
but when it comes to the story of this film,
you'll notice we're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're circling the drain here. I'd say that this movie is pretty. As soon as you sit down and you see what happens in the first 5 minutes, you're like, and I know where this is going.
Yeah.
And that's okay because who's making this movie? It's Disney's Maleficent,
Mistress of Evil, and
Mistress
they say
of Evil.
If you're like, what does that title pertain to the story? It doesn't, but they do say it once.
I think you can get also a good feel for. You can understand this movie without seeing the first one. You can understand, like if you've seen
there's flashbacks,
Sleeping Beauty, you get it, and you understand enough. I know there was some emotional beats in that first movie that fans did appreciate, and also the retelling of that story people appreciated more. In this movie, you're not really dealing with that whatsoever, and it's not really dealing with Maleficent's identity, or really, I didn't find it. Our synopsis said it was dealing with her relationship with her daughter, and Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. I didn't find that it really did. Besides one time where Aurora asks her to cover up a physical feature, and then later they're like, "Sorry about that," and then we move on.
Yeah. What was interesting is you talk about they don't dive into Maleficent. She kind of gets sidelined for a majority of the movie, and it's weird that her name is in the title because she's kind of tangential. She matters as much as like any one of the Infinity Stones matters in a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? Like, I was kind of when you have Angelina Jolie and you have her as your title character, I expected more from that, but they made up for it by putting in like 4 or 5 other plots into this movie. There's a lot going on.
I do like the design of the characters when it comes to the Fae and the other mystical creatures. There's like you got your pigmen one running around. You got your dandelions turned into people.
Yeah, you got your Ents.
You got is that your Groots?
The Groots or Ents or whatever the tree people are.
I'm the Marvel guy. Yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah.
And you get some other characters like a hedgehog type creature named Pinto.
Yeah, very much like. Listen, man, I think those Sonic the Hedgehog graphics are coming up. They're doing a lot better.
We're getting so close, gang. Sonic's gonna look good for that main feature film again. coming back to the movie we saw. I just kind of felt like people were spinning their wheels, but this movie also at the same time feels long and short at the same time, and it's impressive that it did that. And I think the Rotten Tomatoes review, not to use that as a litmus test or like a benchmark for how I'm viewing this movie, but they do make a good point when it comes to how I felt that the cast was underutilized. Not just like on screen, I just mean in what you could get them to do. Like you have Michelle Pfeiffer and Angelina Jolie going head to head, and I really wanted it to be cooler than what it was. I didn't need them both turning into dragon things, but wanted it to mean more.
Yeah, and it's a bummer because they all get saddled with like really juvenile one-liners, and there's a lot of things that have the shape of jokes. Like when we first meet Angelina Jolie, it's like, "Don't ruin my morning," and it almost like it pauses for like a laugh track to kick in, and you're like, "Was that supposed to be funny?" Like what?
It kind of felt like the humor that the people at Disneyland when they walk around and they do jokes, but I think their jokes are tighter. I think their jokes are tighter, and also you're there.
Yeah, It's just, I don't know, and it's a lot of American actors getting saddled with British accents. And,
There's very few British actors in that.
Yeah, so movie. I don't know. It was. I think with dark fantasy elements, with the idea of using one of your most iconic characters, with the idea of now not being saddled with the traditional story, there's room to do more. And maybe they struggle because they decided to do all of the things as opposed to, kind of sticking with a more ground. I don't know. I think it was, it might, like you said, it might do well for younger audiences, but I don't think they'll. There's a lot of those movies that you watch when you're a kid that you enjoyed, but then do not remember ever even seeing. And then your parents hate you for forcing to go with you. I think this might be one of those.
Oh yeah. This is a movie that I would have dragged my parents to go see. It's like, you just don't understand me. Look at these guys moving around. See, this is what.
Look at Ed Screen's abs. This is me.
There's also a lesson that you take away from this movie. By the way, Sam Riley does a really good job as he plays the Raven. He could transform into a man and everything.
There's two jokes that made us laugh in the movie. They made me laugh in the movie, and he gets one of them.
Yeah, and it was pretty solid. It was pretty. It felt like he riffed it, and I'm glad that he did. But the lesson I got walking away from this movie is that if you're rich or powerful, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Like, even though they're like saying there's like an equality like lesson that happens in this.
Yeah, you can start a whole war based off superficial reasons, and then when everybody else decides to stop, it's okay. It doesn't matter all the people we lost.
Stop. But like as long as we just stop fighting, we could be friends. Yeah. There's like not like anything deeper than that. This movie is very surface level. And again, who made the movie? Disney. Do they make deeper movies? Yes, they do. But I don't expect that much when it comes to this.
Especially with their live action adaptations of there's props to be had in that it's not as a blatant retread like Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast. But I think it suffers from you expect more. You expect more from Angelina Jolie and Chiwetel Ejiofor and Michelle Pfeiffer and this world and all this stuff. Like you expect more than serviceable, and I think this movie is just kind of serviceable.
Yeah, and I didn't find myself I wasn't annoyed at any point in this movie though, and I wasn't dreading that it was going to keep going at any point. I was just like, there's enough here that I am enjoying what I'm seeing, but the logic of this movie feels kind of dumb. And like we've said before, we kind of expect more from the actors and the property that they're playing around with. So I wish I could give it a higher score, but if we were to do it out of 10,
yes,
or let's do it out of 5 from the 5 years apparently in world and in our world since the last movie happened, and we're back to, it's called Mistress of Evil. Yeah, so people have a negative viewpoint of Maleficent.
It starts off with like a voiceover that like, legend says that Maleficent could ruin everything. Legend was 5 years ago. That'd be like what was.
I mean, I know there's no internet.
Yeah. Wait, when did Guardians 1 come out? Like, was that like 5 years ago at this point or something? Like that, yeah. When like 5 years ago, there was a story of it was 5. We all remember. Yeah. It was a thing.
And you know what? Maybe the word didn't get around, but basically she's back to her. No, she's not back on her own ways, but people just have a different point of view of all the good things that she did.
Yeah.
Which is confusing. But hey, you know what? You can go see the movie and you can let us know what you think down below. But I'd give this I was gonna say a 3 out of 5 because that's half.
Yeah. But because
I want to give it lower than that, like a 2.9 out of 5.
No, I'll give it a what's like a C minus. 3 out of 5? 3.5 out of 5?
No, I'd go higher than that.
Than 3.5?
Oh, 3.5. Yeah. Then, yeah.
If it's a C minus, 3.5.
I'll give it like a 2.9. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments down below. And if you do enjoy the first one and you end up enjoying this one, let us know what you did like about it and what you want to see in the third one. if
we usually ask what you're into.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know we were getting a second one of these. Yeah. So
5 years from now, excited for Angelina Jolie and the Eternals.
There's some, and Michelle Pfeiffer and Ant-Man 3. Because we'll get there. Yeah. Everybody's in a Marvel movie now. But let us know how bad you missed Brenton Thwaites in the comments down below. Don't miss Super TV Showdown. That's the show where we review all the superhero shows. We're talking Batwoman. Sorry, I have to remember all these. Batwoman, Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning. And we're going to be talking about Watchmen when that starts airing on HBO. So do not miss out on that.
Or there was a premiere for that around where we were seeing.
I took some photos out front because they did a big old display for it. It was pretty cool.
It looked pretty cool.
But yes, we'll be talking about that at patreon.com/onlystupidanswers every Thursday, 3 p.m. PST with Roxy Stryer. You can join us for as low as $5 a month if you want to, and you're getting a bunch of behind-the-scenes content. So do not miss out. Check it out. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.